Okay, test 1, 2. Well, we had some technical difficulties there. We got those all straightened out. Hey, welcome to Mike's Garage, where parking is free but not always available. I just made that up. And thanks for stopping by tonight. We got about a 20-minute delay in the start of the whole thing here. So, welcome everybody. We'll talk about some crazy things that happened in the past week and some different things that I've been doing. I got a lot of, I guess, not really current events, but I wanted to draw some similarities between what I experienced in Vietnam during the pullout and what actually is happening in Afghanistan. Now, I don't know that anybody knows what's actually happening in Afghanistan, but we'll get to that. First, I want to say welcome to everybody. I got a lot of nice comments. Been doing some different things over the past week. It's hard to believe a whole week went by already. But putting up what YouTube calls shorts. And how's the sound? Okay. The sound check 1, 2. All right. Looks like we're good. Finally got that figured out. During the past week, it was a 3-day holiday weekend, and friends of ours had, through the corporation that they work for, they had some tickets that they got for the zoo. It's the Pittsburgh Zoo. It's a nice zoo. Not really crazy big and has a lot of nice features there. But they're having a lantern light evening. And that's a fundraiser. So you buy a bunch of tickets, you go there. A lot of the animals aren't out, but they have like a very festive decorations up, paper tigers and lions and zebras and butterflies. They have all these things, big, huge tree with beautiful colored paper butterflies on it. Well, it's really nice. The kids enjoyed all that. And it was a long walk. You have to walk the whole place, which is typical for a zoo. So to back up, it's Friday night, about 5 o'clock. We're going to get ready to head to the zoo. So we get in the car. We're all set to go. I hit the start button. And that's it, the 2018s. A lot of the new cars, they don't have a key anymore. You got to push the button and the computer takes over. So I pushed the button and the car starts, but it just didn't sound right. You know, it didn't have the crank that you usually get when you hit the button. So I said something to my wife. I says, you know, that didn't sound right. And she says, oh, you're always worried about something. So we go to the zoo, get there a little bit early, park, get our act together. We meet everybody. We go in. And the zoo's open until 10 o'clock. So you walk around at dusk and in the dark. And all the animals are lit up. And there's a huge peacock, had to be, I don't know, 7 or 8 feet tall. And when it spread the hind feathers, it was, I don't know, 15, 20 feet across, all different colors blinking. Beautiful stuff to have there. Very nice evening. A lot of walking. So we get down, we get out. Goodbye, everybody. Everybody leaves. We go and we get in our car, which, thinking back, that was probably not the right thing to do. But hit the button. The car struggled, but it started. I said, oh man, something is definitely wrong. I gotta check this out. Tomorrow's Saturday. I gotta pull everything apart under the hood and see why that battery's giving me isn't acting right. Okay, you could just sense that it wasn't acting right. So we're on our way home. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings near us, so we decide we're going to slide into the Buffalo Wild Wings, grab some fries and grab some wings, and maybe go home and watch a movie because it is Friday night and it's 11 o'clock. So it's what we're going to do. So we stop at Buffalo Wild Wings. I shut off the car, go in and get the stuff, come out, hit the button, third time, nothing. It just goes click. All the lights on the dashboard blink, and they go out. So, man, what is that? So you make sure it's in park. You got to have your foot on the brake. You got to double check that you did everything right. It might be you. It's not the car. It's you. You're doing something wrong. That's why it didn't start. So make sure I'm doing everything right, and I hit the button again, and it just goes bing, nothing. So, and all the lights come on, plus the battery light comes on. It's a little red square with a plus and a negative on it. That lights up too. So I said, oh, great. So here I am. I'm stuck at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wild Wings, 11:15, 11:30 on a Friday night. Call my one son. He comes up, get the jumper cables out, pull the car as close as we can, do all the things you do when you're trying to jump start the car, hook it all up. Didn't even respond. You push the button and it still goes click. So he gets in his car, he revs up the engine. We're sitting there for about 10 minutes with his engine above idle. He's running at about 1,500, 1,800 RPM. And try it again. Nothing. It just goes click. All the lights come on, then they go out. So something's wrong. We're not pulling enough juice through the jumper cables or something to get this thing going, because I know if I get it started, I can get it home. And that's where I wanted it to be. So we're there for half hour, 40 minutes, and a young couple comes out of the Buffalo Wild Wings because they're getting ready to close at midnight. And the guy comes over, nice young guy. He says, hey, he says, I got my truck over there. He says, I got really heavy-duty batteries. You want me to pull it over, and we'll try jumping it with that. I said, well, yeah, we've got to try something. I really don't want to leave the car here, so bring it over. Let's give it a try. So my son backs up his car, moves it out of the way, and here he comes with his truck. He's a tree guy, tree searching, big diesel Ford, I think it was. He comes rumbling over with that diesel engine. He opens the hood. He's got two 12-volt batteries in there, huge batteries, I guess, because I think he has an AC adapter in the truck. So we hook up all the jumper cables and everything. Still nothing. Can't get, and I'm right now I'm thinking that the jumper cables are bad. They're not carrying enough juice. Must not be a good connection in cables. Okay, nothing I can do about it. Thanks, guy. See you later. Go ahead home. Go in and tell the manager at Buffalo Wild Wings, says, hey, I got to leave my car here. My AAA membership, I let it expire. I'm stuck. I got to try to get this thing going tomorrow because I'm going to go home now. He's okay, leave it there. If you can get it out of here in the morning, that'd be great. A landlord or nobody shouldn't say anything because they'll probably call me and I'll know. I said, okay, well, I did the right thing. I'll let him know. So get in my son's car. He takes us home. Get up like 6:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. Go right up to Buffalo Wild Wings, pull in the parking lot. Now, it's like 7 o'clock Saturday morning. There is a asphalt truck in the middle of the parking lot. They're going to re-tar the parking lot. And they're putting cones around. And we're in the parking lot with a car that's dead. So, man, we got to get this car out of here. And I got my helper with me. So we got to get this car out of here. So I open the hood, get the drill out, undo the battery, undo the connections, pull it out. Forgot how heavy those things are, but man, we pulled the car battery out. Put that in the car. Auto parts, Advance Auto opens 7:30 in the morning. We're there at 20 of 8. Here's the old battery. I need a new battery. Sticker shock again. I don't know how many have bought new batteries lately, but man, have they gone up in price. So here's the sales pitch. He says, okay, my best battery is a Die-Hard Platinum. It's $240 with tax. I said, well, what other batteries do you have? He said, well, I got an inexpensive Die-Hard. He says, that doesn't have this. It doesn't have glass panels between the cells. It doesn't have, and he's naming all this stuff. And he says, that's $199. So I said, well, you're talking like for $20, I can get the best battery over a $199 battery. He says, yeah. He says, batteries are really expensive. So I said, well, give me the best one. I says, I don't want to spend the money and only have a 2-year warranty. So I think it was a 3 or 4 year warranty on the battery. So we got that. Back to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's about 10 minutes away, Advance Auto. And you know what? I made a bunch of shorts about it too. So again, if you watch the shorts, give me a like if you like them. We're trying to have fun with it. We're trying to make them entertaining. So I'm trying to get some money together, have a nice studio like this. I want to thank Bad Weather, the guy who has this studio. He lets me use it. So it's really nice, better than the one I have. So we're in the same building, so I just got to get some scratch together to update. But anyway, so we get back to the car. Now the guys are running around the parking lot with those leaf blowers. and they're blowing all the dirt all over the place, trying to get ready to reseal the asphalt in the parking lot. Now it's about 10 after 8. So grab the battery, drop it in. We get my old 1969 battery brush, the one that has the spiral on one end and the hole in the other end for polishing up the terminal heads. So we polish up the terminal heads, bolt everything back together, bolt the battery down, get in the car, starts right up. Still haven't figured out what's wrong with that. But anyway, the reason we knew it was the battery, I want to go back now to old school stuff. When I was a kid, learning about cars, you didn't have a lot of tools. You didn't have meters. You didn't have all that stuff. You had to go by what it sounded like, what it felt like, what it smelled like. You could actually, these old guys, if there was a spot of something on the ground under your car, oh man, my car's leaking something. You move the car and you touch it and you smell it. Brake fluid smells different than power steering fluid, than gear oil, than regular oil, than antifreeze. So I mean, it really sounds silly today, but you knew all the different smells of all the different oils and fluids and lubricants that were in the car, so you could diagnose what was leaking, so you know what to look for. So anyway, what they told me about the battery is if you're not sure what's wrong, you turn on the headlights, and you have to make sure either you have somebody watching the headlights or you can see it. Now, at Buffalo Wild Wings, we were right in the front row, so the headlights showed up on the windows. So you turn on the headlights and you hit the button. There's no key. You hit the button, and if the lights go out, it's the battery. If you hit the button and the lights stay on, then it's the starter motor, because it's not drawing the amp from the battery. So I knew it was the battery that was bad. So that's why I didn't hesitate to go buy the new battery and go back and put that in. So got the new battery in, got it all bolted back together. I wasn't going to drive it and have it in there rattling around. So got it all back together, cleaned up all the tools, put them back in the other car. So the car starts right away, okay? And those guys are heading over to me with the sealer on the asphalt. They're blowing dirt everywhere. I mean, it wasn't the best environment to try to work. If you watch any of the shorts that we put up on YouTube, you can hear the leaf blowers screaming in the background, and we're trying to work under the hood. But anyway, we got that done. And, it was a kind of a bad ending to a Friday night. $240 later, Saturday morning, we finally got it straightened out. So we were happy to get that done. Wasn't any big deal. I mean, the car's 3.5 years old, so not too much else could go wrong with it. The alternator and the starter motors and all that, those things are usually good for about 8 or 10 years. So I really didn't think it was anything like that anyway. So we went and got that done. We did a couple more shorts, put some swings up in a tree outside. Grandkid comes over. There's nothing to do at Grandpa's house, so I didn't want to put up a swing set, because then you have a problem getting rid of it. So I just put a couple cables up in the tree, put a spacer between it, and hung a regular swing on it, one of those sling swings. Again, watch the short, give me a like if you see it. Wasn't hard to do. I can explain it further if you want to give me a comment. We'll see how that goes. And so we had some fun with that. Fall baseball has started with the grandkids. I'm looking forward to that, although the local team here, the Pittsburgh Pirates, not doing too good. I'd rather go watch a Little League game, tell you the truth. But it's a pro thing. They usually draw a lot of people. It's a good time down there. It's kind of expensive, but, what are you going to do? So always wanted to do that. So baseball was my favorite game of all times. Always enjoyed baseball, liked coaching baseball. That's mostly what I did. Really didn't do basketball or football that much. And in today's environment, it's really taking a risk putting your kid in a football uniform. I mean, I know they wear pads and helmets and everything, but still, especially when they get in high school, there's young men. They're not kids anymore banging into each other. They're young men they can hit. So I really stayed away from football with my kids anyway. So anyway, the, the last thing I wanted to get to here is I can remember coming home from Vietnam. I'm going to transition over to, now we're going to go back 50, 52, 53 years ago. Sitting in front of the TV. I'm home from Vietnam, been home for a few months, and I'm sitting there watching the evening news with my dad. Now, he was a World War II veteran, and they're telling about Vietnam this and Vietnam that, and this is going on and that's going on. And I said to my dad, I says, that's not true. I forget exactly what they were talking about, but it wasn't true what they were saying. Because when I left there, we were turning over the equipment. Now, they did the same thing in Afghanistan. Now, there's some comparisons there to what took place. So we're turning over the equipment and we're leaving. And I was in the engineers in Long Bend, 46th Engineers. So we're leaving. So we're turning over the equipment, the buildings and everything, the parts to the South Vietnamese Army. Supposedly their engineering department, they were going to continue building the roads and doing the improvements. We had made a rock quarry not too far south of Saigon. So you could go over there and you could get rock for the base. And we built a asphalt factory for them so they could make asphalt, showed them how to do all that stuff. Turning over the equipment. Now, understand that the equipment that we had in Vietnam was Korean War vintage. So a lot of the stuff was 18, 25 years old anyway. And the flatheads, the engines were flatheads. Top speed of a 3/4 ton pickup truck was maybe 40 miles an hour. You could cruise at 30. If you tried to cruise anything over 40 miles an hour, they actually had a bolt under the gas pedal so you couldn't go too fast. And so what you would do, if you did any work on the truck, the last thing you checked, you would take it out, put it in fourth gear, going down the highway, and hold the gas pedal to the floor. And you would adjust the bolt up and down to make sure it didn't go faster than 2,200 RPMs. Because if it did, the engine would come apart. I mean, that was a fact. The flatheads just didn't run. So the bottom line is they were junk, okay? They were not good vehicles. I mean, they were built like a tank, but had a really bad transmission, always failed, really bad engine, always failed. So it really wasn't a big deal leaving that stuff behind. So when they said, okay, you can clean out this area over here, take all this equipment, the South Vietnamese Army and a lot of civilians came. They took the buildings apart. Now, the buildings were all wood frame with corrugated metal siding, corrugated metal roof, cheap windows, aluminum windows, and a cheap door. They did lock, but, they weren't anything big deal. No air conditioning. You just sweat inside that metal box all day if you sat in there. So they're dismantling it. I mean, taking it apart piece by piece, putting all the bolts in a box, taking all the metal panels down, not getting them wrinkled, putting them in a flatbed. They're going to take everything. And it was going right to the black market. I swear to God, it was going right to the black market. They didn't care. They were just taking it. A couple days later, after they started taking the equipment, we would see our trucks, the 3/4 ton pickup trucks, painted a different color, and they were using it for a business, on a delivery, or had their whole family in it. They had the trailer that they took with it, and they were hauling stuff around, delivering groceries to some far-off grocery store that their brother-in-law owned. I don't know what they were doing with it. But it wasn't going to the military. They weren't using it. It was all black market stuff. It was all just disappearing. And like I say, it was no big deal. It was not state-of-the-art. It was 20-year-old equipment. And then you hear on the radio that they're leaving behind state-of-the-art, brand new Black Hawk helicopters, brand new Humvees, brand new caches of weapons, brand new caches of ammo and artillery shells and all that stuff. And who knows what else they left behind. You figure somebody would learn from the mistakes. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not a politician. I don't, really go one side or the other. I just want to be left alone and live my life, and I expect people to do the right thing. When you see something really dumb happening, like happened in Vietnam, how we just let all those people down, and those people were upset that we were leaving. When we left Vietnam, it was a sad day because those people said they're going to hurt us. They're not going to let us get away with helping the Americans, working for the Americans. And when we started to leave Vietnam, the Army collapsed. They weren't going to fight. They were getting paid a lot of money, just like the soldiers in Afghanistan were getting paid a lot of money. It was a good paying job, but they didn't want to fight anybody. And the same thing with the politicians. The politicians were making themselves rich, okay, in Vietnam. As soon as things started going south, they were out of there. They had their own private planes. They flew out to a different country. They wound up finally coming back into the United States, I'm sure, some at one point or another. But you think we would have learned how to look at that. I mean, it just has me very upset. It's very sad to see the same thing happening to just desert people, and it just makes us look bad everywhere. When you have people trust you, you say, don't worry, we're going to show you how to do this, we're going to show you how to do that. You let the wrong people get in charge, and everything just falls apart. Well, anyway, it's sad. We sit there and we watch it unfold every night. And again, I keep going back to sitting there with my dad, and they're telling me things on TV that aren't true. They're just flat out not true. I was there. I knew what it was like. I knew what was happening. I knew the Army was corrupt. I knew the local politicians were corrupt. That was 52 years ago, and I was a kid. Okay? So I knew. Don't tell me that the people in charge didn't know that this was going to collapse. And you can't tell me the same thing about Afghanistan. Somebody's got to take responsibility for not getting it right. Now, somebody in the State Department, I don't know if there's anybody there that's my age, but somebody has to have heard the stories about what happens when you just turn around and pull out and you leave everybody flat and you leave state-of-the-art equipment there. You know they're selling that stuff. They're selling the helicopters to Russia. They're selling the helicopters to China. They're getting all that technology for free. Okay, we just left it all there. Anyway, I don't know. How long have I been going on here? Good. Okay, I'm getting a high sign here. We've been on about 20 some minutes, so we're getting close to wrapping this up. Again, we're looking for subscribers on the channel. We're going to keep putting up shorts. We're going to put up other videos. The one thing we're working on, and I'll give you a little hint here. We're going to set up a barricade. It's going to be cardboard, and we're going to drive the Murano into the barricade to see if the alarm goes off for the crash and to see if it stops the car. Because it's not, a couple times we tried it already, it doesn't work. Sometimes we don't even get a tone. It just crashes into stuff. And I don't want to set up anything that's too solid. Well, the cardboard boxes should come back as reading something solid in front of you. But I don't want to set off the airbags either. I'm going to crash into something and see if it'll knock it. I know it'll knock it down. But to see if it will, it's supposed to recognize it. And if you don't respond, it's supposed to stop the car for you. At least that's the way I understand it's supposed to work. But we're not having very much luck getting that to work the right way. And I'm sorry I'm waving my hands around. I'm getting all excited here. But, we got a couple other things in the works to try and do that. I really enjoy doing the streams on Tuesday night. I'd appreciate your feedback. If we can get more people watching, more people, some more likes and stuff like that, it's encouraging to get that stuff. So, and, please subscribe. We can always use some more subscribers. And I appreciate everybody. All right, we done? I'm going to wrap this up and tell everybody good night. Be safe. Wear a mask. Sanitize. This ain't over. This whole pandemic thing isn't over. Take care of yourself. Get vaccinated. I have a couple friends that got vaccinated. They did get the virus, but they survived. Okay? If you're not vaccinated, it really can be deadly. All right, everybody. Be safe. Peace. Good night.